So you were there for some of the biggest moment in politics over the last course of your years here. What was the moment that stands out the most?
And then Butler, Pennsylvania, when the shots were fired and he dropped to the stage and got up and lifted the fist with the fight, fight, fight. You didn't know what was going on. We didn't know the guy was dead on the rooftop. We didn't know they got him. Just shaking. You don't know what's coming next, right? And just pandemonium.
How did you go from working at the golf course to being the longest serving and most trusted aide of the president? Are you not tired of all of this after 35 years of working for the same person?
No, because every day is different.
Would you mind taking us through what's it like to being the Trump power couple of the year?
This morning you had a bacon, egg, and cheese that I went in his office and promptly ate.
Oh, I love you, baby. I'm sorry, I'm just staring at her. She's so good, and the deliverables on it are just so professional and very, just beautiful.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Katie Miller Podcast. We're so excited to be in the White House today, joined by the one and only Dan Scavino and his beautiful fiance, Erin Elmore.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us. It's an honor. It's an honor.
So you were there for some of the biggest moment in politics over the last course of your years here. What was the moment that stands out the most?
Oh, wow. There's so many. First term, second term,
Well, let's go first term. We'll go in between.
The first term was just seeing him fight the good fight each and every day for the American people. You know, the guy could be at Mar-a-Lago, one of his 19 golf courses, not dealing with any of the crap. And just seeing the way he would come to the office and then all the hoaxes that came his way and the way he just kept up the good fight. And then leaving the White House on January 20th, and then being out the 4 years and the lawfare that was waged against him and all of us on the inner circle. It was brutal, absolutely brutal, the likes of which, you never think the FBI is going to be showing up at your front door if you serve 4 years and work your ass off in the White House doing nothing wrong. U.S. Marshals thereafter, and just
psychological warfare.
The whole process, it was waging every which direction. And while going through all that, still campaigning, still putting out the messaging, still fighting for what you believe in. And then Butler, Pennsylvania, and I talk about it. I don't do a lot of interviews, as you know. I really, I think I've done maybe one or two.
You're very private.
We're very private, but also very public, right? On social media and stuff. Was Butler because it gets very emotional. But when the shots were fired, and I was with Susie Wiles and Stephen Chung and Walt, and he dropped to the stage and got up and lifted the fist, with the fight, 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 being rushed to the car, hopping in an SUV with Susie, 90 miles an hour to the hospital, not knowing, right? He's in the car with agents in front of him. I picked up his hat because his hat was on the ground when he was being put in the SUV. You didn't know what was going on. We didn't know the guy was dead on the rooftop. We didn't know they got him. Yeah. Just shaking, but the hat, I grabbed the hat, you don't know what's coming next, right? And just pandemonium. And then being in the hospital and in the room with him, with Susie and Walt, Sean Curran, who's the current director of the Secret Service, and very powerful moment, like the picture of him raising the fist, and the other picture of the bullet just flying by. That all started coming out when he was in his hospital room and showing it to him, and it's just wild. He's asking about how other people are doing, which I'll never forget. He's on the phone, with Don Jr. and Ivanka, family, and talking to them and trying to lift everybody up around him on the phone and in that hospital room. And I'm like, man, what a patriot, what a fighter. I mean, the trauma from that, when you think of it, will always be there, right? Yeah. It's just a moment you don't forget. You never forget it. And the way he went to the hospital, we left the hospital, we're on the plane, and he's trying to make people laugh. I mean, this is 8 hours after it happened, and we're going to Bedminster, New Jersey, diverted locations. And they shut down Bedminster, and completely shut down. And it was like Fort Knox. And there were 6 of us there, is a moment I'll never forget. And then the convention was coming up. And it was, do we do it or not? Like, he was all in. We are going to the convention. The schedule stays the way. I'm just like, what a badass. What a badass. And as you know, we had the convention. He came out, you know, with the ear covered. And the way he went out and campaigned thereafter, that was the most powerful moment through it all, where I said to myself, I may have even said it to him, I don't even know, you don't remember, but I'm like, you're going to win this election. You're the next president of the United States. Again. And,
Again.
And that wasn't easy. Like, we would go to events and speak in venues. Like, speak to it now because it's past us, but it wasn't, even just being out there with 10,000 people.
It was scary.
You just were on edge. Everything. The balloons dropping at the convention, when people started popping them, I had to leave the arena because you just were like triggered over everything. And it took a few months. While going through that, him fighting each and every day, doing his rallies, doing his speeches, like, it was epic. I mean, absolutely epic. Not many people could do that. A lot of people just give up, say, nope, I'm done. I get emotional from it because his behind the scenes attitude was just like, fight, fight, fight. That what he did that day was the messaging that's held true all his life. It held true the 4 years we were out. It held true the 4 years we were in. It held true when he was the Donald J. Trump, the New York City icon who redefined the city skyline. He's just a fighter and a champion. And
I think it's well known how often he comes to you for advice on just about everything. Can you recall a specific moment where you're like, if only the world knew the man I know, everyone would love him so much more than they do? Because I think you get phone calls all hours of the night still. Decades later.
I do. And, you know, a lot of the social media stuff during the campaign, and even back in the very beginning, the biggest thing was putting out those behind the scenes moments and videos back in 15, 16, even when he was in office, to share with who the guy like really, really is. I call him America's greatest host.
That's so true.
Right?
Always.
Because he makes everybody in the room just feel like he's focused on them. No matter if it's the Oval Office, the airplane, the golf course, the restaurant, wherever it is. And those people out there, members of Congress, everybody all around the country that's ever engaged with him knows exactly what I'm speaking about. The entire cabinet knows exactly what I'm speaking about. He makes each and every one feel important. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. He listens and takes input from everybody. And he's been like that his entire life.
He's so entertaining.
And he is one of the funniest people I've ever met.
You've recently transitioned from doing the social media, as you described, to the head of presidential personnel, which appoints all political appointees across the entire federal government. A lot's been written over the years about President Trump's loyalty tests. And I think, to me, there's nothing more indicative of that than hiring Dan Scavino to hire those employees. What's been that like, this new job, and how would you describe it to people who don't really understand what PPO is?
Well, it's been very challenging to take it on, because it's still doing other things for him, or things I've done with and for him over the years. It's very challenging. I didn't realize how big PPO was. I didn't realize it was in charge of ambassadors, boards and commissions, appointments, jobs. I didn't realize the team that's behind the scenes at PPO that supports the director of PPO. There's an incredible team, like, you know, that really gets the things done. I may be like on the forefront of it all, but there's Morgan DeWitt, Minnie, Will, a couple of the folks in the room right now that have been doing this for over a year now, and are honestly, they're patriots. They care about the president, and they want to get great people, and they want to put great people in. And no matter how the day is going, like, because sometimes it's a lot. I'm not gonna, you know, when I have like.
So why do you not hire people?
Okay, well,
this is a good one.
Not hiring is easy.
That's easy.
It's the explaining to the 1 of 100 people in a given week that recommended somebody. Not hiring people would be for not supporting the president's agenda, or saying, it's simple as not saying great things about our president or his policies. And I'm still literally digging in on a lot of different things, but
Social media is the biggest thing they catch you on.
that's correct.
Is there any time you've come across somebody and you're like just dumbfounded that they'd even apply?
There's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of things where, maybe social media doesn't have something, but, the vetting and all that other stuff, there's things that you're just kind of like, oh, wow.
You've been on social media talking about how if, you didn't reach out to me in those 4 intervening years, don't come ask for a job. What's that like when somebody who wasn't there for us in those 4 years comes back and says, hey, you remember me?
Yeah. And, I put that post out, I don't even know, a couple of years, before I even took over PPO.
Oh, yeah, that was before we got in office.
That was before we even got back.
Yes.
And I mean it. Like, there's people that will reach out that literally I didn't hear from the 4 years we were out or weren't exactly supportive of the president. Like, I put that out because I started hearing from a lot of people that all of a sudden were just showing up and wanted opportunities and jobs and different things. Let's just say that they don't receive a return call. Like, I meant what I said. If you were not there for us, and maybe it's not the right attitude, somebody may say, oh, give them a second chance. Give them a shot. I know exactly what this man went through.
What you went through.
What I went through. What we went through as a team. And if you weren't there for him, don't even bother calling me. It was pretty simple. It was kind of self-explanatory. And I had to put it out because I was amazed at the people that I was hearing from.
Mm-hmm. You're very popular now.
Well, you're
very popular with this new job.
Yeah, we have a lot of incoming and requests. Even, dinners sometimes are a little challenging. But that's fine, as long as we get great American patriots to serve our president that believes in his policies and agenda. I'm willing to talk to anybody.
How did your relationship evolve from working at the golf course to being the longest serving continuous Trump aide who has his utmost trust?
Do you know that I've never asked him that question and I've been dying to ask, so I'm glad that you did.
It's been a long journey. I mean, I'm talking back in high school. So I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
How did you go? Oh, sorry.
Erin's dying to ask. How did you go from working at the golf course to being the longest serving continuous senior Trump aide, or I'd say continuous ever, and most trusted aide of the president?
I would say just working my ass off back in the days of high school and through college and the summers and just having a great work ethic and just, growing up really within.
But that's not the, how did it go for the day that you're sitting at the golf course and he's like, hey, Dan, how did that occur?
We went out, I was for caddying for him.
Yeah.
And I saw him every weekend. He was purchasing a golf course I worked at. And I was just worked hard. And back then it was like, holy crap, this is the New York icon. It's Donald J. Trump. Just working really hard. And when I was in high school, going up to, he said, you're going to work for me one day. You're going to work for me. Fast forward all through college. I worked through him through college. Then I become the assistant manager, general manager, vice president in Trump org. And then 2012 rolls around when he came up, or 11, when he came up for breakfast on, I think it was a Sunday morning after he went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Do you remember that night?
Mm-hmm, I do.
And he had that look in his eyes. Sir, you should run for president. You should run for president. You would win. You would be an awesome president. And then fast forward when he did run, right? I've always believed in the guy because...
Did he ask you to come join the campaign? How did you go from working at the golf course?
Just turn over the stare, and I'm loving this. Well, she's going to get you to answer.
Where was that moment? Was there a conversation?
When he started running, I was like, I'm all in. I want to be on the political side of things. People have always said, don't get involved in politics. It's ugly. It's nasty. It's just
did you believe in the same things as him, or did you believe in him?
I believed in him when I did it.
Yeah, I believed in him. But I also believed in a lot of the things he was saying. You go back 20 years and hear some of the interviews he's done that hold true today. I've just always believed in his policies and the stuff he says. Now, and look, it got him into the White House. But he's a great guy. And that's why the video concept started of the behind this, to show the American people the real Donald Trump as much as we possibly can. Mm-hmm. Because the mainstream media was not going to share it and not going to show it. And we had to fight through and push through, and just those moments backstage, where he's meeting people, or just anything and everything you've ever seen.
A lot of people have been fired from President Trump's orbit or have chosen to leave. How did you survive all of those periods?
Well, I didn't get fired because honestly, I put things first in the sense of serving our country and serving our president. And like I said before, I'm an honest broker. I'm very fair. I say it how it is. People may not like it, but at least you know what you're getting with me, like it or not. And right, I mean, I just like to just be real, and I think it's to the point now, it's like 33, 34 years. It's like, okay, so I'm telling you that this person, this and that, you think I don't have your best interest? He knows. He knows. He's known for a long time. And I just look out for him and the administration, even the administration. It's very important. And like I said, the team is so great. There's not much, but he knows I've got his back. And, when you go into a foxhole, after everything we've been through,
I want Dan Scavino with me.
You want the right people in that foxhole.
Not everyone knows Erin as well as they know the famous Dan Scavino on the internet. Erin was on season 3 of The Apprentice, but you guys didn't meet back when you were doing The Apprentice, even though Dan was definitely on some episodes.
Yeah, we never met.
Never. In fact, there was an episode that they showed of the live audience that scooped around, and I was with some folks from the Trump organization. This is 20 years ago.
I took a picture.
Yeah.
It's in my phone.
Yeah, somebody posted it on like Twitter or X rather.
Yeah.
And I was like,
we
were in the same room
back
20 plus years ago.
Yeah, it's like really weird.
It's wild. It's wild.
So you are the director of art in Embassies.
Yes.
You got that job before you and Dan were dating, presumably around the same time.
Ish.
What is that like for you now? And how do you guys make that work? Him being the new head of presidential personnel, you having a job in the administration. How do you make that work? And what does being the director of art entail?
So the director of art in Embassies is under Marco Rubio's Department of State, and there's 190 diplomatic properties worldwide. And we provide art for all of Trump's ambassadors in their residences. And when we're building a new embassy, we cultivate that permanent art collection. So I often say it's the most fun you can have working in politics because art is a way to bridge people together. It's a way of communicating when you might have different languages or different viewpoints. And it's the first thing you see, when you go into an embassy, you notice this beautiful building, American exceptionalism, strength, and the art is a reflection of that. And I'm sorry, I'm just staring at her. She's so good. And the deliverables on it are just so professional and very just beautiful. And the deliverance is like.
I love Dan. I love how much you love Erin. This is so cute.
It's incredible. I'm just observing, sitting, watching, because I've seen her on TV since. She's done some TV hits. And even the president says she's amazing on TV and this and that. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but
that's so cute.
I love this so much.
That's incredible. Basically the point of the job, and that's it, right?
Not to cut you off, but
but you didn't. It was cutting me off to give me a compliment is always okay.
Yeah, and the ambassadors love her, the administration in the sense of she's a patriot, right? And just believes in fighting for the American people and representing the administration with her best foot forward. And there were other opportunities she had.
I was going to say, the president offered me on the spot in December a very big job, let's just say. And I turned it down also on the spot because I have a young son, and this, with art, I can go to galleries in almost any city across the country. I can do my work from anywhere in the world, and I want to be able to spend as much time with my son as possible. And by the way, the Art in Embassies program was started in 1964. This isn't a new thing by President Kennedy. So it's always been a political position. It's always been someone that the president appointed. And just like he's done with the performing arts at the Kennedy Center, he wanted to make sure that I was here to make sure that our visual arts were not woke. We're not dominated by people that had a leftist ideology. And it's funny, I am a little bit of a undercover person in the State Department that can get people out through art, shockingly. I'll shout her out. Anna Paulina Luna was in Romania, and she called me. Said, "Hey, girl." She said, "I'm in Romania." I said, "That's nice. What's going on?" I was just at the ambassador of Romania's residence, and there is satanic baby art in the residence. So within 15 minutes, I'm on the phone with Marco's team, not only having the art removed from Art and Embassies, the art removed from the State Department, out of everything. And that ambassador, she's no longer with us. So it's like a good way to learn things. There was an ambassador to a Latin American country that wanted very fine people Charlottesville art. He's no longer with us either. I mean, he's with us in the world.
I gotta be really careful.
Dan's like, this is great.
And it's all true. And again, it's all in support of the president's agenda and all our beliefs and values and everything. And, you know, sometimes when, you know, other parts of the world, some folks that are out there that are just not aligned with the president of the United States. And
we all serve at the pleasure of the president.
we serve at the pleasure of the president.
Even Biden's ambassadors.
You are the epitome now of the DC power couple. If this was any other world, you guys would be on the cover of Vogue celebrating your engagement, but we're not in that world. How did you guys meet? Would you mind taking us through what's it like to being the Trump power couple of the year?
Well, how did we meet? So
depends which version.
Depends on who you ask.
And who you ask, but go ahead.
Okay, so I was doing a television news head on Fox News, Jesse Waters' show, and he's my favorite. We're both from Philly. And all of a sudden, after I get off air, I see that I have a DM from Dan Scavino. And I was very excited about that. And my two girlfriends now, what do they tell you about that? I try to play it close, like, thanks so much.
It's exactly what happened, but the message was more of she did a great job. It was right after we won the election. Her messaging was just so solid and spot on, beautifully delivered. And it was just hey, literally like, great job on Jesse, just saw it, great messaging, thank you. And that was really it with, you know.
He had no intentions.
None. And, you know, she said, thank you so much.
Yes, I did.
And then about an hour went by and she sent me another one. So congratulations. Good luck with the transition, you know. And we just kind of started talking.
So you slid into her DMs?
Yes, that's basically, he slid into
I slid into her DMs, but it was not with the intention of which, sometimes she likes to tell the story, which is really cute. I slid into the DMs, but you know, we've been in the same circles for many, many years and never really spoke to each other.
However, you told me later that you had noticed me.
I did notice her. I did notice her and I was aware of her, but like, again, we never like really spoke. And she was on The Apprentice 22 years ago or 20 years ago. I'd love you to play a clip or two of that.
No, thank you.
If you could implement that into the podcast, because she gets, when I turn it on, because Amazon came out with all the seasons.
Are you watching?
So I teed up season 3 and I started watching it and she just, no. So just great clips of her. And then fast forward the campaign over the last 10 years, like again, we never really spoke, maybe a hello, you know, they would come with their pink ladies for Trump.
Yeah, I was with Laura,
you know,
and he said he would hide from us.
And I'd be like, oh, the pink ladies for Trump are here, you know, and they did bus. They did a great job as surrogates all around the country. But we never like really even spoke until November, literally, of 2024. Yeah. And then we were just exchanging messages and talking. And I said, I'm going to probably move down there for, you know, a month or two transition and somewhere between like Palm Beach and Jupiter. And when she offered to show me the area, I took her up on showing me the area.
He's acting so innocent.
It's legit.
But then when we met, we had a drink and you said you were so nervous.
I was.
And then once we met, he sticks out his hand. He's like, hi, I'm Dan Scavino. And I'm like, give me a hug. And that broke the ice. And then we talked for 3 hours and we just didn't stop talking. And we were just getting really deep really fast and talking about things we'd never shared with anyone else. And then that day, I think we both knew there's majorly something here.
It was wild. When she showed up to meet for a drink, I was like, do I give her a hug? Hello. Do I give her a kiss? Hello. She walks in and I extend my hand. Hey, how you doing? You know, and she's like, hey, give me a hug. And the conversationally where things went thereafter for, you know, 3 hours. And what's funny is, so she was at an event with Laura Trump prior over at the golf club. Mm-hmm. And Laura, she was going to bring Laura and because I've known Laura for, you know, 20, 25 years. And Laura ended up not coming and going home. And if she had come to meet us all for a drink, the conversationally and the engagement back and forth
totally different.
Would have been totally different. it would have been, have a good night. You know, we'll see you soon. Like,
I can't stop smiling because if anyone who knows you are not this emotive. You are very quiet, reserved. You get your work done and that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I pride myself on being behind the scenes for all the years we've been on this journey and trying to, you know, be humble and do the right thing for the American people, obviously, and for the teams that have circled the president, you know, for the past 10 years in this journey of politics. Like, I pride myself on just doing the right thing, being a team player, bringing people together as best I can, being an honest broker. And what you see is, like with me all these years, is like what you see is what you get.
How do you balance this dynamic at home?
Oh, geez. Well, we do talk about work a lot, but both of us do. But I think once we get through work, we try to completely unwind by watching just a TV show or going out for dinner or just talking to friends and family. I think that we do shut it down, but because it's been such a big part of both of our lives for so long, like, it's ingrained in who we are at this point that it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah,
and I love to tell them all the gossip because they say the gossip makes relationships stronger. Isn't that true?
Which is actually, go fact check that. I hear it's true. But it's
very... You'll never believe this gossip. And he never used to be the kind of guy that liked gossip.
No, he always had his door shut and never engaged in the West Wing gossip.
Now, yeah. I mean, I don't mean about just any world gossip.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, this isn't like all work-driven guys. Just, did you see what Britney Spears or...
Did you hear about this?
Did you hear about...
It's keeping me up at night.
And I'm just like... And conversationally, it just could be anything. It could be politics. It could be sports. It could be anything. Just our dynamic and our engagement in conversation is just so energetic and exciting, and we're like looped in with the news and everything going on and the way things are playing or not playing. And, you know, look, we both love our country very much. We both love the president and his family very much. We've both been around them for a really long time. So it was kind of like a match made. Yeah. And like the relationship conversationally, like I will pick her brain sometimes on some things, but we agree on like 98.5% of the things.
Maybe even more than that, truthfully.
It could be more.
I don't think we've really not seen eye to eye. Well, sometimes with you, someone will say something nasty or it won't be the proper spin. And I always say, we have to do something about this. You have to do something. And he says, no, I'm not going to do it. I want to like fight for him, but your approach is always less is more.
Well, my thing too is like, it could be an ugly world out there, right? And some people don't like to see some people succeed or do things. There's a lot of jealousy, and it goes in every role, every administration, every job, right? In corporate America, everybody's always out. This administration honestly has been just like so incredible and so great and so fun, and everybody's rowing in the same direction, working together. And honestly, we get up in the morning and it's like a pleasure to serve, to go to work. We love, literally, we love what we do. We're honored to be here. You know, there's not a day I don't like pulling to that White House.
Are you not tired of all of this after 35 years of working for the same person?
So, no, because every day is different.
That's true.
There's not a day that's the same. It's like you're going out to fight the good fight. Has it been challenging at times? Yeah, it's been really challenging. But, you know, you find out who your friends are through some certain times. You find out who your friends are. And, you know, we're very respectful of, I think, everybody. And, you know, we have our groups of friends, you know, and...
Our favorite day ever in the admin was flying back with Caddy and her 3 kids.
Yes.
On Air Force One.
Yes. Yes.
My favorite part was like all of a sudden I'd look up and there's 3 kids under 5 right next to us, and neither you nor Stephen were in the room, and I'm watching these kids and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? And then all of a sudden he swoops back in, and then you swoop back in, and then it's just organized chaos. They're such good kids. But I love seeing all of the little kids and all of the families, and it's so nice. For example, over Christmas, like the kids' Christmas parties, it's just been so fun to...
Speaking of being pro-family,
yes.
You got engaged here in the Rose Garden.
Yes, we did. September 24th.
Can you tell us what that was like to get permission to...
Oh, that's a whole wild story. And it's rather nerve-wracking. But I knew in, probably August, September, like, this is the one. This is the one. And I didn't know where to do it, but then I finally decided where to do it after the journey we were on for 4 years in this White House, and then the 4 years out. and the fight to get back in, I said, I have to do it at the White House. But I can't just go outside in the Rose Garden or outside the Oval Office and bring Erin back there and say, hey, will you marry me? So I had to speak to the president. So I was waiting for my time. Susie was helping me out with the timing. And I walked in the Oval and I sat down right in front of him, resolute desk. And he sits down. I said, sir, I have a question to ask you. He puts folds his arms and he leans back in the chair. I'm like, oh, yeah. I said, I feel like I'm asking my father for permission. But do you mind if I marry Erin, ask her to marry me in the Rose Garden this evening or on the pathway outside the Oval? And he has just a smirk on his face and a smile. And he said, what? I said, oh boy, uh-oh. Do you mind if I ask Erin to marry me tonight before the dinner in the Rose Garden? There was a dinner in the Rose Garden that night. There. So that's why I had it all. I said, this is perfect. He smiled from ear to ear. You know, like I said, we've both been around him for a really long time. And he could have not been happier, more gracious, sincere, to the point where he got the photographer and a videographer and said, go do it, absolutely, I love it. You are so lucky I took you on this journey, Scavino. You know, and the nexus of meeting her was technically through him.
And he tells us that all the time.
And he lets us know that.
He lets us know.
And, you know, it's, he's genuinely very happy for us. I feel it, you know, he tells me how in love I am and how in love she is. And he was very supportive of it. So we got engaged in the Rose Garden on September 24th. And, you know, I put out a video, as many of you have seen. And it's a great memory. And,
but the people online were like, she knew.
Yeah, no, she didn't know.
They're like, there were cameras everywhere. It's the White House. There are always cameras everywhere. And Walt got involved, who works with the president, and he said, Dan, I need you to come outside and check on something. Right. Erin, stay here. Right. No, wait, Erin, you can come. So I was all thrown off anyway.
So Walt helped us because she was in my office before the Rose Garden dinner. And Walt and I worked it out where he would come in my office and say, Dan, the president wants you to check out the stone in the Rose Garden.
Which and is make so, sure, totally
see,
believable.
See which one you think is better.
Well, and then I'm looking over there, you're like, honey, look at that stone over there. So people are like, oh yeah, you just knew to turn your back. He's like, look at that stone. I'm like, I don't see it. Where is it? So all of it was very believable.
Well, what happened was, so I said, okay, Walt, I'll come now. And I left Erin in the office. And about 5 seconds later, we came back in. We're like, Erin, come with us. Just come with us. So it was all played out beautifully. And I thank Walt because he was a big part of the surprise. What got me was when I'm telling her to look at the stone in the Rose Garden, the video doesn't show it, but I'm literally kneeling down for about a minute and a half before she actually turned around. You know, the video made it look like she turned right around. Yeah. And it was wild. It's a moment I'll never forget. And it was the right place to do it.
And the right time.
And the right time.
You've both seen firsthand how the legacy media machine works. What would be your advice for conservatives trying to control their narrative?
Oh, well, our favorite thing is about, you can't really worry about the media because they're going to say what they want regardless of what you do. You can be nice to them. You can ignore them. You can feed them stories, which we've never done ever. But like you can do everything you think that would try to assuage their concerns or make them like you, and they're going to say what they want. So what we've decided is as long as the picture is a flattering picture of you,
well,
that's all that matters.
Now they're going to change that maybe. But yeah, like, look, I've been around the president a long time. I can say, and even the reporters and the journalists out there know that, like, I've never spoken to them. I've never shared anything. I've never leaked anything. I've never talked to them. To the point where a lot of them, I think, respect it. I've had, like, hit pieces on me where, would you like to comment? No, go write your hit piece. Go, I have nothing to say. Like, I don't engage. I don't have interest in that. I have interest on focusing on the job and what I'm doing. And I'm not into that game. Now, some people like maybe are into that stuff. I love serving the president, working for the American people. I'm not interested in the media stuff. And what she's talking about, as long as they use a nice picture. So we've had some hit pieces or things written that, weren't nice about us, but as long as the picture looks good, it's great. But
it's so cute.
What do you think is the Republican Party's biggest messaging challenge right now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that we have them. It depends. Are we trying to placate the left? Because I don't think that will ever work, and that's not Donald Trump's strategy. I think that we have to double down on the fact that we want a safe border, that we want our children to understand what their genders are, that we think that police are good for a community, that we do not like socialism. And I think that placating liberal media is never the strategy. I think it's being authentic to our values and our principles. And truly right now, I mean, outside of that, I think the one area that is a little bit troubling is the rise in anti-Semitism among conservatives, for me personally, as someone who is Jewish. And I really hope that that goes away expeditiously. Is that fair?
It's fair. You know, messaging is very strategic and very important in getting a message out there. And I agree with everything you're saying.
What does it feel like to press send on a post that changes world markets or completely changes the news cycle?
Yeah, that's been a long journey the first 4 years around. I don't really think about it much, to be honest with you. Everything is, you know, authentic and
in the moment.
And in the moment. And I get sometimes people say, oh, you can not, like, I don't really think about it. But I think on a messaging part for the Republican Party is getting out there and speaking. The president often does his cabinet meetings and he does them live for 2 or 3 hours. That's very strategic. That is not having them in at the top of it, answer a couple of questions, cut off what they want, spin it. No, run that thing live. Now they'll still cut it and say, oh, he said this or he said that. But it's whenever you can have those live cameras rolling and being in front of those cameras and putting out the right messaging and on behalf of the Republican Party and everybody marching from the same beat, right? Like all together in unison on the border, just on everything. And all the policies the president has they're epic. The left doesn't have policies.
No, they don't have policies.
They don't have policies. It's, I don't understand where they're coming from most of the time, honestly.
The chasm between Republicans and Democrats.
Was this a philosophy and something you had thought of, Dan, for years? Or is this something that came organically over time, starting in 2015 and 2016 when the president started running, of just being so transparent online, so transparent with your behind the scenes videos? Because that's, I think, what you see now that like Margot has moved into is a lot of what you used to do. And it's kind of become the Trump hallmark. Is that something that you thought to do, or is that just how it started?
No, it was really back in the beginning where, you know, you see what you see on TV, but it was like showing the dynamic of what the TV or what is not being shown. And in the world, in the age of social media, anybody can be an influencer in regards to getting out messaging. And as long as it's done the right way, like it's very important. 10 years ago, social media was where it started up and coming. And we've owned it. We've owned it for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And that was the way of getting our messaging out. And the teams have done a great job. White House digital team does a phenomenal job. Kayleen Dorr and that team. And you know, what Margot's putting out, it's total gold because the stuff goes viral. That stuff gets more views, and it has from the beginning. We're back in 15, more views than you're going to see on any major cable news network. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's organic and it's getting out there. And okay, so a major network won't play it, but guess what? It got about 25 more million views online. What's your
favorite meme or video that the White House has posted this year?
Oh, there's so many good ones. Honestly, they're so talented and they make some people's heads explode and they're over the target when that happens. The other day, what was your favorite?
The one with the eagle.
Mine was the cuffing season. Like mine's easily cuffing season.
That was really good. That was really good. I have to tell you the way that we take ownership of things like the sombrero.
Oh, I was going to say they kept getting bigger.
And the sombrero got bigger and we were terrible people for doing the sombrero.
And then when they did it, like at first people were like, you got to tell them to take this down. And then it's like, we're going to double, triple, and quadruple down on it to the point where like.
I got to tell you one of my favorite ones. It's priceless was Maduro dancing, saying, come and get me, da, 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 da. And he's dancing, come and get me. And then the eagle comes in and it's Trump, right? And then it shows them coming to get him. And I got to tell you, that operation was absolutely incredible. And, you know, the whole team and, you know, Stephen and Secretary Hegseth and Rubio and the president and General Kane. It's like, I'll tell you what, America, like I sit in that room before we did the press conference and I just look at these guys. America is in good hands. I got to tell you, America is in good hands from the president down.
How does it feel differently from the first administration to now present day?
Well, the first administration, there were a lot of things going on when, we got in, and it seemed like the investigations kicked in right away. Russia. We heard Russia.
People, though,
I was going to say, wouldn't you say that the people now, the team that you guys have is so good?
I have to tell you, and I actually went and I saw Secretary Besson today, and I spoke to everybody at the Treasury. And somebody asked me a similar question. And the answer to that was the cabinet that is in place will go down as one of the greatest cabinets of all time. Yeah. Everybody is on the same team. Everybody works together. You see it for the 2 hours they're all talking around the table, but also then there's the behind the scenes, and where everybody's working together, agency with an agency everybody's on the same team, and nobody's out to. It's very impressive what is going on in the West Wing, and from the leadership with like Susie, and just honestly the right people in the right places, and everybody.
And the right intentions.
Correct. With love for our country and to serve the American people and the president. It's an incredible team that's been built out, and it's fine.
So since you brought up the cabinet, we're going to go to our next section of Cabinet Confidential. Who's most likely to call you at 2 a.m. with a completely off the rails idea?
Sitting at the cabinet table? Off the rails idea?
Off the rails.
Oh, wow. You're going to get me in trouble.
It's the intention.
You're going to get me in trouble. Wow.
So who's going to call you in the middle of the night with a crazy idea?
You're around like when the phone's ringing. Honestly, the ideas that aren't crazy. I know what we're going on here, but like...
They're all sane.
They're all like legit and like solid.
Who's the pickiest eater?
You know who I get a kick out of? You may have even heard this before. Secretary of State. Not
he and
picky.
Marco or like Beavis and Butthead?
Not like picky, but he loves his sweets. He loves the Navy mess hall. Mm-hmm. He loves like the ice cream. And like we're sitting at a meeting and he's like, I hope he doesn't mind me telling this. And he's amazing. Love the guy. He's eating like ice cream or it's incredible. And, but not picky. I don't know if we really have any.
Who's the meme master of the administration?
Hey, Marco again.
It's funny, like a lot of them are into memes. I would say overall meme masters, I have to give credit to the White House digital team. I really do. And to all of the folks out there that support the president that have been with us from the beginning, because as the president says, some of the memes they create and some of the content they create, you could go to Fifth Avenue or Park Avenue in New York City to an ad agency, spend $1 million or $2 million. They would not create what Trump, the president calls them geniuses. And some of the stuff is like mind-boggling. But I give a lot of credit to the White House digital team. They do a phenomenal job and they engage with everybody out there. But the memes are where it's at. And we did we started memeing back in like 15 and 16. They're like, oh, real professional. Oh yeah. I remember like I was a tool and being called a tool for using memes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's where the messaging is at.
So now we're going to play our game of Would You Rather. You both answer.
This is challenging.
Which would you rather give up during campaign season? Coffee or cocktails?
Me or him? Both. You know my answer. I'd rather give up coffee.
Well, the campaign season, I know I sound like a very goody two-shoes, but I didn't drink on the campaign trail because we were just going so hard, to be honest with you. And I couldn't give up the coffee. Like the coffee, or then there was the Celsius. But back then in the day, it was, I don't even remember what it was. Somebody said, you better stop drinking that. You're gonna drop. I don't even know what it was.
Red Bull or something?
I don't know what, maybe Red Bull or whatever. But it was like very energetic. But I couldn't give up the coffee because he's up bright and early and I need my caffeine. And there were no times. I know it sounds crazy, but we would go 3, 4, 5 rallies sometimes, and we weren't checking into hotels till like freaking 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, midnight. So there weren't too many times for cocktailing.
Would you rather relive your first date or your favorite date?
I think they're all my favorite.
With me?
Yeah. Duh.
That was a joke. It was a joke, people.
I think everyone gets that. Well, I don't even know what our favorite date would have been.
Oh, you know, it's every date we go on is like our favorite.
We have so much fun.
We have so much fun when we go out to dinner with friends or with family or just
Laura's
the two of us.
birthday was so fun.
Yeah,
that was a fun
we
one.
always have fun, and you know
We had fun last night. I mean, we have fun every time we do something.
we surround ourselves with good people and people you can trust and people you can love and people who have the same beliefs and values, and it's like every time we go out to dinner,
it's our favorite. Everything's our favorite.
Oh, I love you, baby.
I love you.
So, you know, it's funny, like, it just takes one little clip from this show to like, oh, Scavino, look at him.
I love this,
you.
though.
But
I can't get enough. I cannot get enough right now.
Well, you don't want to show that you're human.
I understand how all this works.
Would you rather have your phone battery stuck at 2% or your inbox stuck at 20,000 unread emails?
Well, yeah, if I had to go without my phone, I don't know how I would do without it. So I think I'll take, as crazy as it sounds, the 20,000 emails.
I agree.
When we went on a mission, it was like a 12-hour flight, and they took our phones, and we had to turn the phones off. The president at one point goes, "You can't be doing too well." Like, and I'm sitting there like, you know, and he goes, "Scavino, how you doing?"
Like withdrawals.
It's tough not having a phone and communicating. Like, you know, you step away for an hour and then you go back and your phone's lit up and it's going great. But I'll take the emails.
Would you rather post a cringy couple photo in matching outfits or forget your anniversary on camera?
I want to post as many photos of us in cringy outfits because I love Halloween.
Yeah, I don't mind any of it. In fact, I posted one of her and I on like X, I think it was. And, you know, it's kind of funny to see people's reactions and either their love or either their hate or, so I'm in the same boat.
Would you rather be shadow banned or ratioed?
Ratioed.
Yeah, well, the chances are more likely to be shadow banned, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, I'll take the ratio.
I don't think you've ever been ratioed. There's no way.
I think maybe sometimes.
No way.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
You're always posting the popular opinion.
Yeah, but I also don't mind being
create the
ratioed. Sometimes it creates a little bit of a ratio, but.
You're so good.
You know, I don't even think about it. It doesn't bother me.
What's your favorite date night spot in DC?
Nobu.
Nobu is very good. Where do we go?
Philippe Chow.
Last night I like Joe's. Okay. Philippe Chow is very good. What's the Mexican place? I like the Ned, the Mexican place.
Mi Vida.
Mi Vida. Have you been to Mi Vida?
Pretty good.
Oh, it's very good. Very good. No, I like Joe's, and the Occidental across the street is very good too.
Where was the place we went? Maestro's?
Yeah, that was good too, Maestro's. I actually once was at a Chili's and the president called. And
I wasn't there for the record. I was not there.
I love Chili's. And we were talking, I stepped outside and I said, "Sir, I'm eating the best boneless buffalo chicken like you could even think of. And the blue cheese is so good." And he's like, "What's it? Chili's?" And I was like, "Sir, you got to try these things. Like these things, I still have to get him the boneless buffalo chicken fingers. They're like little nuggets. And I get them at the PBI airport. I intentionally go early to get.
I had those with you. And
what's it called? The triple decker platter?
It's just frozen, reheated.
Oh, it's so good. So good. I'm a very simple eater.
What shows are you binging on TV right now?
We just finished The Beast in Me. Getting him caught up on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Good.
What was the other one we watched? It was like 3 different seasons.
White Lotus.
White Lotus?
Yeah, that's good.
Like crazy. But we try and get into like a series
something
or watch
mindless that doesn't involve politics so we can...
What's your typical order from the Navy mess?
I will either have a grilled cheese with American cheese, if I get something.
This morning you had a bacon, egg, and cheese that I went in his office and promptly ate.
So I ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese this morning, but didn't have time to eat it because I had to go to Treasury. I came back from Treasury, it was half gone. She said, "I ate your bacon, egg, and cheese." So I didn't even get a chance to eat it. But I like grilled cheese with French fries, extra ketchup.
Best trip you've ever gone on with the president?
Oh man, there's been so many cool trips. So many cool trips. I would say Italy ranks up there, right?
Best hotel you guys have stayed in?
I would have to go with the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, Chicago, New York. How's that?
Perpetually on message. We love it. Love to see it. The president is famous for his Spotify playlist. What's your favorite song on the playlist?
Man, there's so many great songs.
He was playing them for us the other night.
Yeah, they're all over the map too.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give Lee Greenwood the shout out because, like, honestly, it's just an iconic song that I've heard thousands and thousands of times. So when he plays it, I love it. When he plays YMCA, you think of him doing the dance up there.
The Bocelli.
Bocelli, like, yeah, it's just mind-boggling. The stuff that
Pavarotti.
Oh, that's what Pavarotti say, yeah.
Mind-boggling. Well, he's done some of the other too. It's,
What's your go-to hype song?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah, we could probably say it at the same time. You have your phone? I'll call your phone and we could play
My
it.
ringer. It's my ringer for him.
What is it?
1, 2, 3.
Enter Sandman.
That's his ringer when he calls me.
I'm a big fan of.
People ask what our wedding song is going to be. I think it's going to have to be interesting.
So our final question before we get to our real final question is, when's the wedding? You're clearly more in love than like anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
Because I don't.
We have no plans. We're airing this next Tuesday.
So
when's the wedding?
Be about 2.5 or 3 weeks short of when we're gonna.
Honey,
so
you are not supposed to say that.
We're not supposed to say.
It's a surprise wedding.
So we're having an engagement party on February 1st.
Don't say the. Okay, that's
and we
fine.
may or may not be. I wasn't supposed to say this.
The date. It's okay. You can say whatever you want.
Go ahead.
You're the one that's.
So I wasn't supposed to say anything, but I'm an honest guy and I'm an honest broker and I'm a fair broker. Like, look, there's a chance that on February 1st, we may, the engagement party may transition.
Turn into something more.
Okay.
Into a wedding. And I have many thoughts for that though. Like, I'm thinking advance. I'm thinking midterms are coming up in November.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Get married in October?
Yeah.
Right, or after, like,
no.
It's kind of like, so we're considering on February 1st transitioning into engagement party and then surprising everybody.
Well, now it's not going to be that big of a surprise.
It won't be that much of a surprise, but we'll see. To be determined. Stay tuned.
All right, so our last question we asked every guest on the podcast: if you could host a dinner party with 3 people, dead or alive, who's sitting at the table and what are you eating?
Ooh. Erin, I'm going to let you go first with that.
No, you
one.
each go.
So we each get 3 people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I obviously want my Dan there. That's 1. I want my son there. That's 2. And my sister. Family is the most important thing. And what are we eating? Sushi. What else?
I agree.
I made it easy. You don't have to have me at your dinner.
It's a fascinating question. It really is. Man, there's so many people.
You can go like George
so
Washington
it would be
and co. You don't have
me
to have
and who?
3
people.
And what are you eating?
I get to pick the 3 people.
Dead or alive?
Oh, wow. Man.
Maybe start with what are you eating?
A chicken parmesan.
Okay.
Got to have my chicken parmesan. Is that okay with the chicken parm? As far as 3 people, I would love to sit down with Fred Trump, his father.
Yeah.
Because the way he speaks about him and the things he's learned from him is just very fascinating. And it's what made him who he is. And I've always just been very interested. I would say Fred Trump. And I think...
You get 2 more.
You know who I really enjoy speaking with?
Who?
I'd like to have Elon Musk. We've done that before, right? Like we've all been around. But I would say Elon, I think that's a given. Yeah, I would have to go with Fred Trump, Elon, the President of the United States.
Plus Erin.
Plus Erin.
Well, it was only 3.
There's so many people. That's an amazing question.
I love that everyone's eating the chicken parm.
It's an amazing question. And the conversation there, the conversation will be very engaging, very fascinating. Like to hear from the president's father, like sitting there with him would be pretty iconic. And then Elon coming back into the fold too, and just conversationally, the guy's brilliant. The guy is just brilliant. So it would be, that would be it.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Katie Miller Podcast. Don't forget, we're available every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, where you get your podcast. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share. Thanks so much for watching this episode with Dan Scavino and Erin Elmore, and we'll see you next week.